husband, 28 male, asked me, 27 female, for a separation. We both agree the end goal is to reconcile. It is an extremely, very long story. However, as the title implies, my 2-year-old marriage has ended in the request for a divorce. It will be 2 years soon before we have a tiny girl who was not meant, but whom we love, who will be 2 years old. My relationship with her had lasted almost 6 years when I got pregnant with her. We were engaged, married, and then I found out I was expecting a child. I'm assuming he believes we rushed into things, but I believe we were always planning to be married, and that this only expedited the process even more. He has just begun a new position in his hometown. I had a premonition that I was going to make this move with him. My boss sent me on a business trip, and while I was gone, I learned that he had rented a property without my knowledge and was preparing to move out. He hopes to see my daughter every other weekend, if possible. I'll have to move back in with my parents and try to get my sh*t together so that I can start a new life in this city. We had a few little disagreements here and there, but nothing earth-shattering and certainly nothing worth separating over. He is suffering from mental health issues, and I am certain that he is bipolar, but he is refusing to get help for them. He's a fantastic parent and my best buddy in the world. He maintains that this is a temporary separation in order for him to improve as a dad and a husband, but I am concerned that he may decide to make it a permanent split. He says that he loves me and that he wants to be with me till the end of time, but our relationship must evolve. I want to believe in him, but I'm afraid and bewildered at the same time. Because of time constraints, I must ignore a boatload of extra details to keep this article as concise as possible. To put it simply, he is starting a new life and profession, which we had anticipated joining him for up until recently, when he opted to inform me that, while I was away on business, he felt better alone with just him and our child. Despite this, he continues to express his want to be with me on a regular basis. I'm obviously depressed, and all I want is some direction. He has said that he wants to stay separated for the time being, but that he hopes to reconcile once he has his sh*t together. Is there anybody here who has been divorced and remarried? According to what I've read, divorce may be beneficial to a marriage in certain cases. As a side note, neither mine nor his side has a history of infidelity on their records. Furthermore, I don't think anybody else is there in the photograph. He's not the kind to tell lies. Despite my repeated questions, he swears on his life that this breakup is the result of his discontent with himself and has nothing to do with anybody else. I believe him. I'm also the subject of several compliments from him, including the assertion that he couldn't imagine finding somebody better for him than me. This is something I just do not comprehend. Why you would do this to our family and our life? I feel he is making a serious error of judgment. Update 1. My husband and I have been married for 2.5 years and have been together for over 8 years. We split up in May of this year, apparently overnight. He went back to his homeland, leaving me and our kid behind. There was never a good explanation offered, just that he believed we should never have married. In July, he changed his mind and said that he wanted to be a family again. He was still working at his hometown job, so I decided to ride it out at my job in a distant place for a couple of months to develop my CV before searching for other positions in his hometown. I eventually secured a terrific job in December after 6 months of a grueling commute, taking care of our kid during the week by myself and traveling to his hometown every weekend, applying and generally bending over myself. I found out he was having an affair a week before I was supposed to move into the new home we were purchasing together and start my new job. He begged and pleaded for me to remain with him, threatening to cut off all communication if I didn't, and I naively decided to give him another opportunity. 2 days later, when I was back in a different city finishing out my final week of work at my former job, he unblocked her on everything and liked her Instagram photos. I was heartbroken. On top of that, he booted me out of the home we were meant to move into together, forcing me to find a new place to live TWO days before beginning my new job. We've been living apart ever since. He's said and done so many vile things in this time, and he's claimed he wants a divorce so many times that I've lost count. He was remained in touch with her till about a month ago. I observed her automobile at his home, got photos for the attorneys, and he confirmed he was still talking to her. I stopped performing the Choose Me dance about a month ago and stopped contacting him other than concerning our kid. Now he's changed his tune and says he's desperate to get me back and would go to any length. He has unfollowed her on all platforms. I disliked all of her photos. tells me not to abandon our family. I progressed. I have no desire to pursue another connection with him. He's profoundly damaged me, and I've been screwed over by him so many times I've lost count. How do I tell him there's no possibility without appearing absolutely heartless? I still want to be able to have a healthy, comforting relationship with him, so I am cordial to him, but he interprets it as me wanting him back. My sentiments have been expressed to him, but they have fallen on deaf ears. He claims he will never give up attempting to reunite our family and that he does not desire a divorce. Yes, I do. Is there anybody who can help? Edit 1. Just to demonstrate the kind of guy he is, when I questioned him why he had changed his mind, he answered it was because I seemed stronger. The irony, oh the irony. To be honest, I'm grateful to the jerk for tearing the rug out from under my feet not once but twice, because I've understood how much better I can be and how I don't need anybody but myself to be happy. Edit 2. Seriously, thank you to everyone who has read and commented on my tale. You have no idea how much it is assisting me in focusing on myself and realizing that I need to quit contemplating the sentiments of someone who has no regard for mine. I can only hope that anybody who finds themselves in a similar scenario learns that you can and do move on. And I guarantee you'll feel as if a 10,000-pound weight has been lifted off your shoulders. Edit 3. He will be served with papers within the next 1-2 weeks. Ensure that the "I've changed" mask falls off. I hope I'm wrong, but I've learned all too well that my gut instincts are almost always correct. Hopefully, I'll be back in a few months with the wonderful news that the separation is finalized. Final update. It turns out that my hunches were true after all. In the midst of begging for another chance and promising this time would be different, he was still sleeping with his affair partner and assuring him he loved her and would do whatever it took to make it work with her. I roll. It didn't even worry me that I discovered this. That's how unsurprised I was by the situation. It just provided me with the ability to stop feeling guilty. I gave him a good kicking in the. Every day, I expressed gratitude to the universe for the fact that he is no longer romantically involved with me. The sensation is similar to that of a massive weight having been lifted off my shoulders. I happened to meet someone by chance at a wedding not long after publishing my first essay, and we ended up falling in love. This man embodies all that my ex-husband did not represent. Surreal is the tenderness, compassion, and respect that they showed not just to me, but also to my child. I had no clue that falling in love could be that straightforward. Anyone who is reading this and is in a loveless marriage should get out immediately. It is necessary to do the tough thing, particularly when they have a history of leaving / returning / cheating, etc. Because I was afraid of breaking the connection, I didn't. At one point, I was starting to feel terrible for the guy, since he was begging with me on a daily basis for another chance to prove himself. He sought to convince me that getting a divorce would be detrimental to my future and the future of our daughter, and that she would come from a broken house, but the reality was quite the opposite. It had previously been damaged, and I was able to fix it. After deciding that divorce was the right option for me, I had a complete rebirth. I learned to rely on myself. I figured out how to be content on my own terms. I found enjoyment in the company of a bite. Never before has life been so delectable. The horrible really enhances the already excellent. Reddit, thank you for taking the time to comment on my first article. It played a role in the turning of my former cemetery into a green space. Thank you for your consideration.